Every damn day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show, we've got our friend Baylee. And I just saw that you wrote B. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
We're going to talk about art and animal rights and animal care and wellness. So, how you doing today, B or Baylee? Which do you prefer?
Well. You can call me B. It's just my nickname I grew up with. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you identify with like bees? Like, is that?
I do, and I have it's like tattoos of bees all over.
Oh, nice.
So
I have
like
one up.
that's
I don't know which one this is. That's the wrong one. I have a bee.
oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that has a bunch of meanings to me. Do bees have a bunch of meanings to you?
Yeah. If I were to die, I would come back as a bee, I think. And just that being my like childhood name. So that's what it kind of.
Would you be a queen bee or a drone or not a drone? What are they called? Drone?
There's workers, drones, and then the queen. I don't know if I could be the queen. I'd probably be a worker bee, honestly.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah. Well, I guess they don't have a lot of responsibility, but they give a lot of babies and a lot of
there's
themselves.
no way. There's no way I can't do that.
So, let's learn a little bit more about you. We know that your nickname is B since you were a kid. What else? Did you grow up around here?
So I grew up in Hull, which I mean is close to Lansing. I went to school in Hull public schools, but then I transferred to Mason schools. So now I'm in the Mason area now. Yeah.
And you're an artist?
Yeah, I am an artist.
Were you
mostly
always
animals.
An artist?
Oh yeah, I was always like drawing and painting when I was little, and the talent went up from there.
Yeah. Do you do you have a business that you do art, or you just do it as a hobby, or you're trying?
I do it as a hobby, but I'm trying to figure out how I can make it a business. I do have an antique booth or like a case that I do sell some of my art in. It's at Timeless Treasures in Mason. So that's always an option for people to like go see it.
Check your stuff.
Yeah.
So art, I'll type that up. But what I don't know what the question I'm asking is. Like, what kind of made you go towards art and made you merge in the animals? I mean, were you always like that? Like when you were little?
I was always passionate about animals. Like when I was younger, like from like when I was a baby, I'd be outside all the time, and like it just went up from there. And then art has been like an outlet for me. I have really like bad, severe depression and anxiety. It's kind of an outlet. And then of course the animals help too as well. Animals just have this like healing power to them. And so that's why I just combine both together.
This sort of seems like a good time to introduce Toby.
Okay. Yeah. So this is Toby. He is a common toad. He was a rescue toad. He was injured, and we just brought him in, and he just never left. So it's Toby.
And you said Toby was your comfort toad.
Yeah. When I just get like sad or emotional, I just kind of hold him, and he actually just sits here most of the time. He'll just sit in my hands and
did you have to learn a lot about how to take care of a toad when you rescued him?
No, I knew. I'm like the animal dictionary. I knew quite a lot before finding him, so he was all set to go when I found him.
Yeah. So is he like, do you interact with him? Like, do you think that he knows you and your friends and whatnot?
I think he knows me. I don't think he he recognizes other people, but since, you know, I'm like feeding him and like holding him, that he somewhat will recognize me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cutie.
It is cute. What's a misconception about toads? Like, isn't there they'll give you warts? Is that
Yeah,
true?
like no, it is not true. As long as you wash your hands afterwards, nothing will happen to you. And plus, you're keeping your animals safe by washing your hands before and after handling them. But no, that is not true.
Since one of your passions, and we'll probably get off Toby in a little bit, but I want to stick with Toby for a
Okay.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Since one of your passions is like animal care and wellness, tell us how to take care of a toad if we find one that's injured and we want to nurse it back.
So you would probably want to get a 10, I'm gonna say like 5 to 10 gallon tank. I have this tank right here. You want to make sure there's like dirt so he can bury himself in. You want to make sure there's moss to keep him kind of moist, and like he has access to, like, I have one of these in his tank. I put water in it so he always has access to water. You can even like put plants in there. He does like to climb, so I put like a strip of bark in there. Just making sure he's got the needs, the food, water, you know, that's really it. Yeah.
And well, it sounds like you also make sure the enrichment part is there.
Yeah, that's really important for animals to have that enrichment for sure.
Do you think you'll get him a mate?
I don't know. I mean, like he's been making his mating call for the past couple months. I'm not sure if I can handle babies quite yet, so he might just be a bachelor for a while, just hanging out. Yeah.
That's probably more fun anyway.
Yeah.
So how do you also have your sketchbook with you, I think.
I do.
Is it something you want to show?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Why don't you show us some things and tell us about them?
So this sketchbook is probably about a year old. It's just the one I've completed as of right now. Like some of it's not animals, some of it is like animals, but I'll show you a few of my favorite ones.
And I might take myself off the screen for a second to give you a bigger image, okay?
Okay. So this is one I did of an owl. It's all pencil and shading. Don't know why I drew it. It's just felt like doing an owl. Let's see.
So I'm realizing that we also have an audio version of this, so we've got to be descriptive when you show it. And I'll come off the air again to give you bigger.
This is a whale shark. It is out of pencil. Just really, really much just shading. It's nothing like too detailed. I'll show you something that's not an animal that I do enjoy doing, like goofy drawings too. So let me find it.
When you are drawing animals, do you kind of consider that part of your study of the animals?
Yeah, I try to follow like I'll just stare at a picture for a really long time and just kind of study like what it looks like, and like sometimes I'll try to like put the bone structure of the animal in there so it makes it easier to draw. So this one's like a goofy one that I did. So like there's a couple sides to me drawing. So it's a really big face. The mouth is super wide, big eyes, nostrils flaring. I don't know, just something goofy.
It made me smile.
Really? That's good.
Yeah. So how do these things merge? So you said that, will you tell me again where the place was in Mason that you have your art?
Timeless Treasures. It's an antique store. I have a booth or a shelf. It's called Freaks and Geeks. It's where I sell things and I also put my art in there.
What else you sell, like antiques?
Antiques, I'm into oddities like bones and such. So
Yeah.
I'll there's occasionally bones and like crystals and stuff in the case too.
Do you go to the Festival of Oddities?
I think I've been once so far. I didn't know it existed
Yeah. Is it
until last year.
is it in Mason or Charlotte?
Charlotte. Yeah, I went
Yeah,
last
Charlotte.
year. That was my first
Okay.
time going.
Yeah, my wife sells at that too. She does
Really?
something. Her thing is called "Nature is Art is Dead," and she finds things that have died. She doesn't
Hmm.
kill anything, but she
Yeah,
finds things
of
that have
course.
died and harvests and makes
Yeah.
jewelry and stuff out of them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Same
Yeah.
thing too. Hmm.
So do you go out? I guess gathering a lot.
It's actually really hard. Like it's hard to find like deceased animals or anything that like sometimes they're fully put together and I don't want to like touch the
Yeah.
other things in it, but like I found like deer antlers and like deer skulls, but yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah. Do you come at it from a science perspective or from an art perspective or a little bit of both?
I think both. A lot of people don't understand why I do it. They think it's really weird and like
Hmm.
unnatural, but like I think from my point of view, even after death, there is beauty still left. I think that's like the art side, and then I think it's just so cool for like the science side. Like I have a lot of human skeleton like models everywhere in my house. I just think it's so cool that we're walking skeletons, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think it's a celebration of the
Yeah.
whole cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to accept that death is part of the natural cycle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, um, animal rights. Let's dive into that a little bit.
Okay.
Uh, what are some issues that you're passionate about in the animal rights? Like, what are some of the problems and things you want to fix?
Well, I wrote down some stuff. I was ready.
Okay.
So animal rights to me is a belief that humans or animals deserve the ability to live as they wish without being subject or desired as food or like just something to be used by humans. Like they're a life source. They shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
um just like I know so many people that are vegetarian and I think that's awesome. Like how we're it's another way to save the earth, I guess, as well,
Yeah.
being vegetarian. Um I know a few organizations that are really good and some that are really bad that are for animal rights. PETA is definitely not one you want to support.
No.
No, they actually
Why not?
have their shelters. They actually euthanize probably 2,000 to 3,000 animals a year,
Mm,
and that's not what you want for animal rights.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
So, what's a good organization to support?
Any humane society or
Yeah.
local animal rescues. There's one that I always donate to all the time. Even local zoos like Potter's Park Zoo, amazing. They do stuff to conserve animals. Actually, I think in 2018, when I was a teen keeper there, um, they helped bring the Puerto Rican toads, which were almost extinct. Um, Now they're not extinct anymore. There's over thousands of toads now.
That's
So
pretty awesome.
it is
And
awesome.
you were sort of involved with that
Yeah, I
project?
was involved. Yeah, I got to witness it and all the babies. I thought it was so cool that they're saved now because of Potter's Park Zoo.
I think that Potter's Park Zoo is gem in the community that a lot of
Yeah.
people don't take advantage of.
Yeah.
And we should more, and we should support them more, because
Yep.
we're going to lose that gem if we don't keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Agreed. I've always been like a big part of the Potter's Park Zoo. I've always felt it's like my second home, just with all the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have chickens at the Fledge, and
Uh-huh.
they lay eggs for us, and we kind of use them for outreach
Yeah.
sometimes, so that people in this neighborhood maybe have never held a chicken before, or they're scared of a chicken.
Yeah.
And so we use them in different ways. We harvest the eggs and give them out in our free stands. We do some education with them. But at
Yep.
the end of the day, we also kind of love them a lot.
Love them. Yep.
And
That's all that
do you think
matters.
we're okay?
Yeah,
Are
no, that's
we?
fine. As long as they're like they're loved and like they're fed and they have the needs that are met, you know. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't know that you guys had chickens.
Yeah. So we look at the living system around us and work our way in. So we always say that radical inclusion starts with the squirrels, because they live here too. They lived here before we did.
Yep.
And so we're constantly, well, we have to feed them, because if we don't, they just raid the food stand. So if we create a little distraction for them. But the squirrels, the feral cats, the bats, the bees, the bugs, the everything.
Yep.
We got some skunks hanging around. All of them. We should just embrace them, love them, and recognize that we're part of their system as much as they're part of ours.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, it's just like existing. It's not coexisting. It's just like existing all as one, you know? That's how it should be.
I think we find it symbiotic, because you know, the chickens, they love to get into the compost, so they're always turning and making dirt for us. They love to eat bugs, so being able to leave the bugs there, like we don't clean out our beds too early, so the bugs can hatch or wake up or come out of hibernation. Are those? I think those are kind of small animal rights things. Are those? What are some things that you see, like our community being able to do better?
I think just being more local about it, and like actually like what your guys are doing, like kind of spreading that message. You know, you have chickens, you're not like using them for like anything awful. You're like having like an ecosystem, like the bugs, the chickens, you know, the dirt. It's not just about like here's a chicken, do what you will, you know. And just supporting shelters, supporting like small businesses like Purses. Like Purses is such a wonderful place to support.
Tell us about Purses.
Purses? Yeah, Purses.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell us about Purses anyways, for anyone listening that's not from Lansing.
It's a pet store with more exotic pets. People there are awesome. They accept everyone. Any animal you can think of will be there. People are so educated there. Like, it's not just going to another like corporation pet store. People are so educated. They know what they're doing, and they will like educate you as well. If you're thinking about getting like a certain pet, they will make sure that pet has what it needs to be like successful and like living its rest of its life. And they also take in animals as well. If you cannot care for them anymore, they will take in most animals.
Yeah, don't flush your alligator down the toilet.
No, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
So Rick Bruce, who's the owner, set up our fish tank. We made the old baptismal into a fish tank, and then it's got a kind of hydroponic twist to it too.
That's awesome.
He's world renowned for the care of pets, and it really is. It's almost another impression 5, if you will. It's a
Yeah,
scientific place
it
as much
is.
as a pet store.
Yeah, I agree. It's really
Yeah.
awesome just to go in there and like walk around. It's like a little vacation for me just to kind of get away.
So besides Toby, do you have any other either pets or support animals or?
So I have fish. Well, I used to. My betta fish did pass away probably about a few weeks ago, but I do have African dwarf frog, which is it's probably about this big, and he's a frog that's aquatic.
Hmm.
So he's in my tank at the moment. Yeah.
Do you get him out?
No, he's
Like,
just
yeah,
aquatic. But you
he
can't
just
really do
lives there.
much. Yeah, so he just hangs out in the water. He's super cute. He'll like float around in there all weird, his legs all spread out. I think it's so cute.
Yeah. Are there any animals that are going extinct or endangered in Michigan that you have a cause to try to bring back?
Um, Not that I know about at the moment. I want to say there's a certain turtle, but I can't remember the name. But like, I know a lot of other animals around the world that are going extinct, like elephants, lions. Like it's just because of the game hunting, just for what they have, like the elephant tusks. People
So
will get them.
So most people get behind that, right? They understand the ivory, they understand save the whales, they
Yeah,
understand, we want to have lions on the earth still,
yeah, hmm
but they don't understand often why we would want to save, a certain beetle when 1 out of 4 creatures on this earth are beetles.
yeah.
What would your response to them be?
Um, so let's just say it's like this big chain, all these animals. Um, and if one falls off that chain, it messes up the whole chain and it will just go downhill from there. So you gotta have the whole chain put together perfectly, and or else something falls off, then it's just all all hell break loose.
Do you think that people understand that chain is our food security, it's our healthy water, it's our healthy air?
See, I don't think people do, and I mean, like some people are not open to hearing that if just one insect, one animal goes extinct, it will all be messed up. But,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know.
So how can we educate people?
Just speaking about it all the time, like talking to people about it, really putting it in their face because it is an issue. It's a really big issue that we're facing right now, like the burning of fossil fuels. I don't know if anyone you saw that about the scientist who got arrested for peaceful protest,
Mhm.
about the how like we have only a few years to fix it, and like no one's seeing it. Like everyone's just turning a blind eye to it.
Yeah, people should go on the nasa.gov, I think it is,
Yeah,
um, website. They've got a graphic of the global temperature it's
yeah,
a really cool graphic, and you can just see it spiral out of
yeah,
control
yeah,
and move into this catastrophic phase that we're in right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Climate change is real. It is very real, and it's very scary that if we only have a few more years to fix it. It's very
Or it's
scary.
irreversible.
Yeah.
So if somebody's listening right now and
hmm
they can't go out and get on a boat and run a whaling vessel off the course, but they're here in Lansing, what could they do today that would help?
Um, Literally go online and look up like certain causes that may need donations. Like it's pretty easy. Just go online and look. As I said, local shelters, the Potter Park Zoo always takes donations. Like it's fairly easy. You just gotta look it up for sure. Like Google it, Yeah, pretty much.
You, I really love that you're pushing Potter Park. Everyone should go make a small donation to Potter Park, and if
Yeah.
everyone did that, they'd be fine again.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and always vote for the millage. You know,
Yeah.
people don't come to cities for their parking lots,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But I also liked what you said earlier, and I think we should spend a little bit of time educating people about why being a vegetarian
Mhm.
is good for the environment.
So, I'm currently not a vegetarian, but I'm hoping to be soon. It's very hard. I'm trying. It's just sometimes really hard. I know a lot of people that are vegetarian. It just if you put it takes what like an extra couple gallons of water. Um, we're wasting water on this cow. That's just gonna get slaughtered anyway. When we could conserve that water for something else if the cow wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's probably hundreds of gallons
yeah,
that we,
definitely a lot more.
and then it takes like, I think 10 pounds of grain to make 1 pound of beef.
Yeah,
So we could be feeding people the 10
yeah,
pounds
yep,
instead of the 1 pound.
yep, yeah.
So,
It's definitely, I think, more beneficial for us and the animals, of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think cows, they let out methane, and that's
they
a
do. Yep, the
gas that is
gas.
bad.
Hmm.
So what we forget to talk about? What's something you want to say before we wrap up here?
Um, hmm. I mean, we got the animals down, I think. Um, we've got my art. You can go look at my art at Timeless Treasure. Um, also maybe that gay rights. I'm a big activist on gay rights as well, for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about that. What are some of the so I hope you know that we're very queer community friendly
Yeah.
here,
Hmm.
and we also it's important to us as well. And on a national level, we're seeing the Don't Say Gay and the the fight around that area. What do you see maybe on the local level?
Could you like explain it a little bit more for
Uh,
me?
what kind of things? What problems are you seeing in the community where the LGBTQIA plus rights are not being honored?
So personal experience. So I live in Mason. It's a it's a very tight knit community, and I don't think queer people are accepted as much. And it's very hard not to go somewhere and be called, names I don't like
Right.
to be called. And I just don't think people realize it's not a bad thing. It's mostly the older generation that has said things to me before. I don't think they understand. I mean, it doesn't hurt me, but I know it could hurt other people in a really bad way, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
All these small little cities surrounding Lansing are pretty
Mhm.
much like that. I mean, I guess it's not every single one of them because
Yeah.
I think there are some queer communities in
Yeah.
some of the cities, but for the most part, they're all like that. And
Yeah.
come on to the east side, get out of Mason.
I know. I know, right?
This is we always talk about all the queer kids from Dansville and Grand Ledge and Mason and whatever. They kind of are refugees
Yeah.
into the east side of Lansing
Mhm.
to, you've got the Avenue, you've got the Fledge, you've got some
Yeah.
really safe spaces
Yeah, I feel
just to
so
be.
welcomed when I go over
Yeah.
there compared to being here. I just feel so like okay to be like myself, you
We
know.
got toads, we got squirrels, we got chickens, we got fish, we got
Yeah.
uh, skunks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, what would you like to take us out with?
Um
Oh,
just
wait. First of all, we should also
oh,
say quit being mean to people that are different than you because you don't understand what's going
Yeah,
on, and go learn the science behind gender too, because it's a lot more complicated than what you
it
think it
is.
is.
Hmm.
And that's the science part of it, not just what people socially feel.
Yeah.
Look at the science. Gender is not binary. It never has been, never will be,
Yep.
and it's super complicated. I
Hmm.
don't mean it like that. It's complicated from a science perspective.
Yeah.
It's simple to be kind to another human being.
Yeah.
So, but what would you like to take us out with?
um, just to realize that every life, including a tiny bug, like matters. If one falls off the earth, we're pretty much done for. Just kind of take care of yourself, take care of your animals, live in peace and harmony. That's all I gotta say.
That's right. Well, thank you so very much for coming on and
Mhm.
talking to us about animals and art and
Mhm.
all the other things in between. So that's a wrap for another Every Damn Day. We love you all, and we will see you tomorrow.